Hello again, new viewers and existing subscribers. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we have a story that serves as a powerful reminder to be cautious and to trust your instincts, especially when navigating relationships in unfamiliar territories. Our subscriber, Andy from Australia, is going to share his journey with a woman named Ning in Thailand. What started as a promising connection in the vibrant city of Bangkok quickly evolved into a whirlwind of plans for marriage and building a life together in Surin. Andy, with the best of intentions, invested significantly in this relationship, both emotionally and financially, including purchasing land and starting to build a house. However, as you'll hear, things took a sharp and heartbreaking turn. After the final financial commitments were made, Ning's behavior changed drastically, leading Andy to uncover a web of deception. His story is a stark illustration of how easily one can be misled and the painful lessons that can be learned. Get ready for an emotional and eye-opening account that ultimately delivers a clear and firm warning about the potential pitfalls of trusting bar girls in Thailand. Let's hear Andy's compelling story. It was a warm evening in Bangkok, sometime in 2015. She caught my eye across the room. A petite woman with a captivating smile and an air of delicate charm. She was undeniably pretty, her dark hair framing a face that seemed genuinely open and friendly. To my surprise, she confidently made her way over to my table, striking up a conversation with an easygoing manner that belied the bustling atmosphere around us. There was a certain naivete in her eyes and the way she spoke, making her appear remarkably innocent amidst the lively bar scene. Later, as the evening progressed, I offered to pay the bar fine and went to a nearby restaurant for a relaxed dinner. Over plates of delicious Thai food, we continued to talk and get to know each other, the initial spark of connection beginning to deepen. That week in Bangkok flew by in a whirlwind of new experiences and deepening connection. Ning, whose name I've changed for privacy, essentially moved in with me for 7 days. Our exploration of the sprawling city was a vibrant tapestry of iconic landmarks and hidden gems. Beyond the sightseeing, the week was filled with simple pleasures. Shared laughter over spilled drinks, late-night conversations, revealing more about each other's lives and dreams, and a growing comfort and intimacy that made it feel as though we'd known each other for far longer than just a few days. The moment I settled into the taxi for the long drive to the airport, my phone buzzed almost immediately, and it was a Facebook message from her. "I miss you already." A cynical thought instantly surfaced, fueled by the financial aspect of our time together. Without hesitation, I typed back a blunt reply. "You miss the money, not me." The truth, or at least what I perceived as the truth, felt harsh but necessary. Over the next 3 months, despite my somewhat dismissive reply, Ning persisted. Almost every single day, my phone would light up with a Facebook Messenger call from her. Sometimes I answered, sometimes I didn't, but her daily persistence was undeniable. Perhaps it was a moment of weakness, a flicker of the connection we had shared, or maybe just a desire to soften the perceived harshness of my departure message. But after a while, I decided to send her a small gift of $100. She confided that she was seriously considering stopping her work as a bar girl. It wasn't a sudden decision, she explained, but a growing realization that the lifestyle was taking its toll. She spoke of wanting to spend more time with her children. Her kids, she mentioned, were currently being lovingly cared for by her parents back in Surin, a province northeast of Bangkok. She elaborated on her reasons for wanting to leave the bar scene, citing the excessive alcohol consumption that was almost a requirement of the job and the inherent risks involved in interacting intimately with strangers on a regular basis. She decided she was leaving Bangkok and returning to her family in Surin. She explained that her desire to be with her children had become overwhelming. Along with this news, she tentatively asked if I would be willing to help her financially. Despite my initial reservations about Thai bar girls, I had developed a genuine affection for Ning. Knowing I was about to start a new job in Australia with a more stable income, I agreed to send her a monthly amount to help support her and her children while back in Surin. However, shortly after her return to Surin, she contacted me again, this time with distressing news. She had fallen ill and was in the hospital. The photos she sent via Facebook showed her looking pale and weak in a hospital bed, which genuinely worried me. Without hesitation, I offered to pay for her hospital fees, wanting to ensure she received the best possible care. We decided to plan a holiday together in Chiang Mai. The anticipation leading up to the trip was palpable, and when we finally met at the bustling Bangkok airport, it felt like a significant moment in our evolving relationship. There was a mix of excitement and perhaps a touch of nervousness as we greeted each other. We boarded a domestic flight to Chiang Mai, and as we landed and made our way into the city, we were both immediately charmed by its slower pace and lush surroundings. The week that followed was truly wonderful. We shared laughter, deep conversations, and a renewed sense of closeness that had been missing during our time apart. One afternoon, while browsing in a local market, Ning expressed her desire for some gold jewelry, a common cultural preference in Thailand. I happily purchased a beautiful piece for her, seeing it as a symbol of our connection and the positive direction our relationship seemed to be heading. Following our wonderful trip to Chiang Mai, we both felt it was a significant step in our relationship for me to meet her family. We agreed that I would travel to Surin, her home province, to visit her parents in their rural village. The journey to Surin was quite different from the bustling cityscapes I'd become accustomed to in Bangkok. It involved a long bus ride through the Thai countryside, offering glimpses of rice paddies stretching to the horizon and small traditional villages. When I finally arrived at their modest home, I was greeted with warm smiles and genuine hospitality, despite the obvious language barrier. Ning's parents, though unable to speak English, exuded a quiet dignity, and I also had the pleasure of meeting Ning's children, two bright and energetic youngsters. Ning showed me where she was living, a small, simple single room located upstairs from her parents. It was clear that she was not living a life of luxury. The room was basic. Wanting to show my respect and appreciation for their hospitality, I had brought gifts for her parents and small toys and treats for the children. During our time in Chiang Mai, amidst the beautiful scenery and relaxed atmosphere, our conversations naturally drifted towards the future. Ning expressed her desire to get married. The feeling was mutual, and in a moment that felt both natural and exciting, we decided to get engaged. To celebrate this significant step in our relationship, we decided to take a short trip to Cambodia. The trip felt like a romantic getaway, a special time to solidify our commitment to each other and dream about our life together. Upon our return to Surin, Ning was eager to introduce me to some of her close friends. We spent a few evenings socializing, sharing stories and laughter, and I felt welcomed into her circle. As we began to plan our future, we also started looking at house and land options in Surin. Ning had always dreamed of owning her own home, a place where she and her children could have more space and stability. Upon returning to my home in Australia, my mind was completely focused on building a future with Ning in Thailand. Without hesitation, I made the bold move of placing my house on the market, eager to liquidate my assets and prepare for a new life abroad. This involved the somewhat bittersweet process of selling my car, as well as cashing in my shares and selling other personal items that wouldn't be coming with me. My financial priority was to help Ning secure a stable foundation for her family. As promised, I sent her the funds she needed to purchase a plot of land near her parents' house in Surin. She handled the transaction, keeping me updated with photos and details. After these significant steps, we were both eager to see each other again. Our next meeting was already on the horizon. We planned for me to travel to Surin to experience the famous Elephant Festival, and more importantly, to finalize the plans for building our house on the land she had purchased. Just a week before I was scheduled to fly to Surin for the Elephant Festival and to finalize the details for our new house, Ning contacted me with some unsettling news. She had been kicked out of her parents' home. It turned out the eviction was directly related to a decision we had made regarding the construction of our house. We had recently decided to switch builders. The new builder we found had quoted a significantly lower price for a house of a similar size and design to the original plan. However, this decision had unforeseen consequences. Apparently, Ning's mother had been receiving a kickback or some form of commission from the original builder. When we informed her that we were going with a different contractor, she became incredibly angry. Her anger was so intense that it led to a major argument with Ning, culminating in her mother kicking her out of their family home. After the unexpected news of Ning being kicked out of her family home, we decided to stay at the Majestic Hotel. The very first night of my arrival, Ning had arranged a meeting with the new builder we had chosen for our house project. We met in the hotel lobby, and after some initial introductions and pleasantries, we sat down to review and sign the construction contract. I felt it was crucial to have a more formal legal agreement in place beyond just the builder's contract. I expressed my desire to have a lawyer draft an additional agreement to protect both of our interests. Ning assured me that she had already taken care of this and produced some documents that she said were from a lawyer. However, the papers were entirely in Thai, which of course I couldn't read. Ning explained what she said were the key terms and assurances outlined in the document. Trusting her interpretation and wanting to move forward, we both signed the forms she presented. The following day was marked by a significant event, a large ceremony to officially commence the building of our new house. It was a vibrant and meaningful occasion, steeped in local traditions and customs. Many of Ning's extended family members and neighbors gathered at the plot of land, bringing offerings and participating in rituals believed to bring good fortune and ensure the successful completion of the house. Their warmth and genuine smiles further solidified my positive impression of the people in Surin. During the gathering, Ning also introduced me to another of her friends, a woman named Pim, whose name I've changed for privacy. Pim was in her early 40s and had a history of working as a bar girl in some of the tourist hotspots. However, she had recently returned to Surin, as she had found love with a boyfriend from Norway. She was excitedly preparing for an upcoming 3-month trip to Norway to visit him and meet his family, a prospect she spoke about with great anticipation and happiness. Ning expressed her strong desire to have another child. Given our engagement and plans to build a home together, we did try to conceive during my visit. 8 weeks after I returned to Australia, I received an excited message from her. She told me she was pregnant and sent a photo of a positive pregnancy test strip as confirmation. My initial reaction was a mix of surprise and a sense of responsibility, given my existing family commitments back home. Shortly after sharing this news, however, I received another message, this time filled with worry. Ning had been involved in a motorcycle accident. Thankfully, she assured me that she hadn't sustained any serious injuries, but my immediate concern was for the baby. Given the accident so soon after the positive test, I was understandably anxious and suggested she take another pregnancy test to ensure everything was still okay. She agreed, and to reassure me, even sent a short video clip of herself performing a urine test, which again showed a positive result. While all of this was happening, I continued to send Ning regular payments for the construction of the house. Additionally, knowing that she had been kicked out of her parents' house, I took it upon myself to rent an apartment for her in Surin. When the last house payment had been made, Ning stopped talking to me. She was always busy with serious stuff when I contacted her. I kept on trying to communicate with her. Whenever I talked to her, she was very angry and kept on saying she was busy. She said she had a debt of 300,000 baht for the new fence and school fees for her 2-year-old daughter. We had talked about sending her daughter to school, but we had agreed it could wait. She would not elaborate on why she had spent money she did not have. I had sold everything in Australia. I told her I was moving to Surin. She said not yet. I got suspicious. I kept calling her and asking for photos. She said she was busy working at a Bangkok restaurant. She said she had big debts and had borrowed money from friends. I asked how much debt? She said 400,000 baht. Eventually, she sent me a photo of her. When I asked if she was a bar girl, she said no. She said I was stupid for asking as she was pregnant. When I pressured her more, she said that she did not want to be my boyfriend anymore. She was a bar girl and not pregnant. A wave of anger washed over me as a growing unease settled in my stomach. In my frustration and suspicion, I reached out to some of Ning's friends on Facebook, hoping they could shed some light on why she seemed to be withdrawing. I asked them if they knew why she wasn't talking to me as much, but to my dismay, they offered no response, leaving me even more worried. Not long after, Ning herself contacted me, her message sharp and demanding. She told me to stop contacting her friends immediately. Her tone and the fact that she even knew I had spoken to them only deepened my suspicion that something was amiss. The very next day, I received another message from Ning, this time with a seemingly enticing offer. She suggested we go away together for a holiday, but with a strange condition. I would have to pay long time every day. The vagueness of this request, combined with her recent distance, immediately raised red flags. I tried to steer the conversation back to us, to the future we had planned, and simply asked, "What about us?" Her dismissive reply, "What about it?" was like a punch to the gut. When I pressed her about where she was currently working, or even what area of Bangkok she was in, she became evasive and wouldn't give me a straight answer. My gut was screaming that something was terribly wrong. I decided to take matters into my own hands. I booked a flight to Bangkok, taking with me the agreement we had signed for the house construction. My intention was to seek independent legal advice. I found a lawyer in Bangkok and presented him with the documents. His assessment was blunt and devastating. He informed me that the agreement I held was not actually for the house and land as I had believed. Lesson learned: do not trust a bar girl. Wow, what a roller coaster of emotions and a truly cautionary tale from Andy. His story takes us through the highs of a blossoming romance and the excitement of building a future together, only to crash down with the devastating realization of betrayal and financial manipulation. Andy's experience highlights the vulnerability we can feel when we open our hearts, especially in unfamiliar cultural contexts. The stark lesson he learned about trusting bar girls is a powerful takeaway from his journey. What are your thoughts on Andy's story? Have you ever experienced a situation where you felt misled or taken advantage of in a relationship or while traveling? Share your experiences and advice in the comments below. Your insights could be helpful to others. If Andy's story resonated with you or gave you something to think about, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you appreciate these honest and sometimes painful stories from our subscribers, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Make the background music happy.